Thank you very much for those who have subscribed to A Moment with Rukwaro. It's a thumb up, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I am Mutai Rukwaro, a family therapist and a relationship coach, and it is always fun and a lot of excitement to share some golden nuggets to you. Now, I'm hoping that you enjoyed part 1 and part 2 of the paranoid personality disorder, and I'll take this opportunity to welcome you into part 3 of the treatment of paranoid personality disorder. One, we have to realize the key treatment goals of paranoid personality disorder is to build trust, which is one of the characteristics of a paranoid personality disorder. Then we have also to build social skills. You remember the aspect of social isolation, being a loner, keeping it to themselves, being argumentative, being very, very rigid. Then we will build social skills, should also be a goal. Then we should also see a way in which we can manage emotions, and then also challenging distortive thinking, because paranoid personality, they have got distortive thinking. They have distortions in thinking. It's very irrational. No wonder they are simply superstitious, and they are hearing voices, or they are seeing shadows and images. Then you should also develop them to develop coping skills. Those are some of the goals which a family therapist or a psychotherapist should gear to when you are counseling a paranoid personality. So now, what should you do? You should really focus on cognitive behavioral therapy. So now, what do you do when it comes to cognitive behavioral therapy? Based on the goals, the key treatment goals, we should try to see how we can manage trust and suspicion, and to improve social skills. So you should be able to challenge negative and irrational things and beliefs. So you have to listen to the history, and this can be captured during the narratology, during the time when the client is sharing with you the story about their life, because their life story, the episodes, the experiences they have gone through during when they were growing up, or certain experiences might have contributed to what they are. Then, secondly, it's important also to focus on emotional regulation. Focus on how can they be able to control emotions. How do they understand themselves? Focus on self-awareness. Let the person understand themselves. Let them understand their weakness. Let them understand why they are so short-circuited when it comes to emotions. Why are they not able to manage anger? Why are they so rigid? Why are they not flexible? Why are they isolated? It's important for them to understand these things. And then the other aspect is the aspect of medication. You can be able to undertake that you can use medication to tackle this problem of paranoid. And in this case, this can be antidepressants or anti-anxiety drugs, which can be administered, but this is in the purview of psychiatrists, is not in the purview of counselors, because counselors we treat through talking. So it's very important for you to address severe paranoid or delusional thinking. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I welcome you to my other videos, in subsequent videos in the time to come. Have a great day. Thank you.